Welcome to the new video, guys. Today we're gonna be talking about all of the new relics we're getting out of Assassin's Creed's collab, so you guys know what you could be expecting after you crack a few of those. I hope you find the video helpful, and if you do, a like and subscribe would be great. And don't forget you can check me out live on stream each Tuesday and Thursday for free account takeovers. If you want to support the channel for free, download Raid using my premium download link, and you can start yourself off with 4 amazing champions in your first month of the game, and you can also use the promo code section for an extra amazing legendary champion for free. Now, let's get into the relics. So here's the new event tab with all the new relics we're getting out of Assassin's Creed, and as always we have a couple of mythicals, legos, epics, and rares. You guys already know we've had some absolute bangers of event dungeon relics from before, like we had the Cat's Gaze from Alice's Adventure, which was absolutely insane, and honestly none of the others really are of the level of Cat's Gaze, and that's probably gonna be for a while, but yeah, that's just how strong it was. Anyway, the cool thing about these collab events is you're gonna be getting yourself so much extra crafting materials for all of these. Like, you can notice literally every top spot for tournaments gives away some sort of relic event fragments. Like right now we have Ice Golem giving out 75, 50, or 25 epic fragments for the top spot. The Gear Ascension tournament is also giving away those. Tag Arena is also giving out plenty, including legendaries for the first spot. Good luck getting that one. Apparently people are really cracking out on those. And we are going to be getting a lot more options to get ourselves more of these crafting materials. So far not so many. I myself only have like 100 out of the rares and 50 out of the mythicals, but that was thanks to the great results on that champion chase tournament we did. But yeah, all around there's gonna be plenty to go around for the next couple of months, so make sure to do what you can to actually grab yourself a good chunk of those, because once they're gone you're not gonna have other ways of actually getting more of these fragments, so those relics are gonna be out of your reach basically forever, which is kind of a damn shame, but it do be like that. Anyway, what are the relics themselves? Starting off with the mythical diabolical dice. This one has attack as the main stat, which levels out to a ton at the end, accuracy as the middle stat, and a little bit of crit damage at the end, which is gonna be kind of hard to get, but it's there. Wearer has 50% chance of increasing a random skill's cooldown by 2 turns before attacking a single target. Occurs once per turn. Wearer also deals 3 more damage for each turn of cooldown remaining on all enemy skills. Sounds kind of interesting, but off the top of my head I'm not sure who I'd give this to even if I did open it. Notice it is gonna work on single targets, so not very great for massive AoE stuff. Maybe somebody like Carnage would make good use out of this off the top of my head, not sure. It also has 4 gem slots, which is kind of cool, a couple of circles, a rhomboid, and a triangle, which are not the worst. So yeah, all around would not be the worst thing in the world to open. After all, it is a mythical. The really good relic out of this lot would be the Tower Helm, however, because this thing screams speed lead galore. This thing gives you 24 speed as a main stat, which is basically the biggest amount of speed you could be getting out of a relic. The middle stats is a little bit of defense, and the last one is HP. Personally, I do believe this would have been a lot cooler if it had a lot of res in the middle, because speed leads do enjoy having high res as well usually. But honestly, it doesn't matter. As long as you're taking the lead, you should be right as rain. The wearer also receives a 25% fortify buff for 2 turns at the start of each round. Ignore defense effects used against the wearer are 10% less effective when the wearer's HP is less than 50%, which does level out to frickin' 90% at the end. You're gonna have a square, rhomboid, circle, and another rhomboid. Why did they have to sequence them that way? That felt weird. But yeah, you're gonna have again 4 good gems to be using here, so that can be pretty nice. For those who don't know, Fortify reduces any enemy ignore defense effects by 15% or 25 if it's the big one, and this one should be the big one, question mark. Yes, it does say 25% Fortify. So yeah, for anybody wearing these, he's gonna be fast AF and also pretty hard to deal with, so there's that. Moving down to the legendary, starting off with Thunderbolt Spear. This thing gives a lot of crit damage as the main stat, good amount of attack and some defense at the end, kind of a weird spread. A little bit of speed at the end wouldn't hurt now, would it? And the wearer deals 10% more damage to enemies under shield buffs. That does level out a grand total of 40% more damage against enemies under shield buffs, but it's kind of weird. Like, who are you gonna be bringing a bunch of shields dealing more damage to on shield buffs? Like, who is anywhere? I guess somewhere in arena that might work, but it's kind of weird. But to be fair, it does give a ton of crit damage and attack, so pretty good for attack based nukers for sure. And it also gives you a couple of triangles and a circle. To be fair, even the Malefic Talon gives 40% crit damage, but not attack as a middle, so there's that. And it only has a triangle, but for a legendary, honestly I felt this one should have been a little bit more. Do let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I feel like this could have been a little bit better, just me. We also have okalissa custodian. This thing has a ton of res, a good amount of speed, and a little bit of HP at the end. Removes all debuffs from the wearer whenever they lose 70% or more HP from damage by an enemy in a single turn. And this thing can activate all the way down to as soon as you lose 30% HP on your champion, which is kinda insane. And basically having yourself a good cleanse like this is pretty cool. One thing that's weird here is, why are we having a cleanse effect on a champion that's gonna have like 100 resistance out of this relic? Kinda sounds like you'd put it on somebody who's not meant to get crowd controlled in the first place, but we are seeing some crazy, even 4 digits accuracy potentials nowadays with all the relics and gems and everything around, so I guess, but it does sound kinda weird. Again, to be fair, a champion like this is probably gonna have at least 400 resistance, and for a champion to lose 70% or more HP from a enemy in a single turn, that's gonna be a nuker that doesn't have that much accuracy to begin with, so I guess, I don't know, like, it's not supposed to be happening all at the same time. To be fair, it could be something like Our Man's opens, stuns you, and then the nuker kicks in your teeth, so that's gonna remove the stun, but yeah, I guess it makes some sense. This thing has a square and a couple of pentagons you could be slapping in, so you could be having some spicy stuff on it. That's about it for the legendaries. Checking out the epics, we have the Howling Guardians, which has a lot of defense, HP, and a little bit of res at the end. Decreases the damage the most injured ally receives from bosses by 5%. Wearer receives that damage instead. This relic will only activate once per team, so you can't actually stack the whole team with a bunch of Howling Guardians and just a single squishy nuker, if that was something you would consider doing. And the damage reduction does scale up all the way up to 25% damage mitigation. It's kind of cool. You could slap this on somebody like a champion with unkillable or block damage or just hella tanky, and that can be kind of nice. And you could be slapping a square plus a circle on this one, which is also kind of interesting. Doesn't sound super top tier, but it might actually get involved in some kind of cheat strategy, so there's that. Like, it could actually end up being helpful on things like faction wars and such, because there, it's actually kind of hard keeping some of your squishier nukers alive. You literally have to give them golden elixirs and they still somehow manage to die, so this could actually be a decent utility relic that you might want to haul around from time to time when the faction war stages are a little bit harder than they're supposed to. We also have the Dark Smiles Toast. Has a lot of HP, a little bit of accuracy, and a drizzle of speed at the end. Whenever the wearer's turn meter is filled by a skill, also heals the wearer by 3% of their max HP, occurs once per turn. Honestly, this would have been insane if it was the other way around. Whenever a champion gets healed, his turn meter gets a boost instead. That would have been a good relic right there, but does this make sense, guys? Like, sounds pretty dumb to me. I'm not sure who I'm gonna be putting this thing on. Gives a little bit of accuracy, so at least it has that going for it, and it does have a rhomboid and pentagon gem slot, so that's something too. But all around, it sounds kind of whatever. Like, I guess the healing goes all the way up to 10%, which is okay, I guess, but for a relic, I think the standard for effects out of relics is a little bit higher than this. And now let's check out the couple of rares most people are gonna get plenty of. Vigor Mortis has a lot of attack, a little bit of defense, and a little bit of crit damage. Wearer deals 2% more damage to enemies whose max HP is at least double the wearer's max HP. And the damage increases all the way up to 8, which is kinda okay. I guess you are gonna be using this thing in dungeons and stuff like that. It's not gonna work in arena, or at least not as effective, but it's an okay-ish damage-based relic you could be putting on. God knows it's actually kind of hard giving everybody the Malefic Talon. Even I am actually missing champions that could be using Malefic Talon on them, so getting another okay-ish looking attack-based nuker relic like this is kind of fine. Again, it has a triangle slot on it, so you could be putting some of these on it. And the last relic here would be the Sigil of the Car. This is kind of the mirror image of Vigor Mortis. It basically does the opposite. It gives a lot of HP, defense, a little bit of res, and the wearer receives 2% less damage from enemies whose max HP is at least double the wearer's max HP. Again, levels out all the way up to 8% less damage, which is kinda okay, and you are gonna have a circular gem you could be slapping onto it, which is not bad. So yeah, all around, these are the relics we will be able to get. Definitely would like me the Tower Helm. That would be amazing on things like Arbiter or any speed lead champions you could think of. That would be great. You could also, heck, even give them on things like Armans, Fabian, champion. Basically, your fastest champion would be even faster with this thing. That would be pretty good. The thunderbolt ain't the worst. It's basically like glorified talent if you ask me. The howling guardians does make some sense. So yeah, all around interesting relics we could be getting. Do let me know in the comments if you guys are seeing some insane synergies for these which I missed, and I will be happy to read your comments and answer. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, you know what to do. Would really help out the channel. We just hit 15,000 subscribers, which is honestly kinda insane, and the channel just keeps on getting bigger, and I have you guys to thank for that. Don't forget you can check me out live on stream each Tuesday and Thursday for free account takeovers, and if you want to support the channel for free, download Raid for my premium download link and start Raid the right way. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris05, and I'll see you in my next video or stream.